from Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6 brings back the hottest hip-hop radio show live from K.L.P. Entertainment and K.L.P. Studios. Go! It's K.L.P. Aftermath. Morning with your host, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas.
You know what it is? Put your hands up.
Tune in now on any audio platform.
Go.
You know what time it is.
Y'all know what time it is.
Swanky one. DJ Kennedy Lucas.
Mic check, 1, 2.
Turn me up some.
Let's get a little gangster real quick, y'all. Here we go. It's Friday, y'all. Happy weekend. We here in the studio, man.
Here I am all by myself.
Come on, Carrie. Happy week, y'all. Hopefully y'all made it through a tremendous good week, man. We got a great one for y'all today, man. I can't wait. Happy weekend. Happy Friday to all the podcasters, all the people in Atlanta. Yeah, buddy. Boy, howdy. Shout out to all the Atlanta people out there tonight who probably outside in Atlanta City tonight going out for the weekend. Yeah, buddy. Shout out to all the entrepreneurs, all the successful men and women out there, all the successful non-binary people out there. We love y'all too. We love y'all too. Hey, shout out to all the producers, the podcasters, filmmakers, documentarians. Shout out to all the people taking care of their bills, taking care of their families, man. We love y'all. Shout out to my girl Evelyn. Shout out to her. Shout out to everybody who followed the Lucas Tribune, over 1,000 followers. Yeah, buddy. Hey. Hey. Shout out to all the people who got their pre-order for the Switch 2. Oh, we got a story to tell y'all about that today, man. Yeah, buddy. Hey. Come on. Hey. Shout out to all the students, man, all the school students getting their education. Boy, howdy, we got a good one. Hold on. Come on, Method Man. Oh, not this one. Not yet. Shout out to all the DJ players out there, man. Shout out to y'all. Hey. Here come Method Man. Shout out to Method Man. Famous actor now. I mean, rapper, but actor now. Hey. Come on. Shout out to all the studio people, and shout out to you, the scammers and the scalpers. Shame on y'all if y'all scalping right now. Hey, come on. Hey. Searching. Yeah, buddy. Shout out to my family, man. My brothers, sisters, cousins, mom, dad, step-parents. Shout out to y'all, man. Hey. Come on. Yeah, man. Shout out to all the gym goers, man. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another exciting episode of the KLP Aftermath podcast. I'm your gracious, highly favored, humbled podcast show host here today. The host is with the mostest. KLP Kennedy Lucas, man. Yeah, buddy. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to the proceedings this evening. It is Friday. We hope that everybody's having a fantastic Friday. And if you are getting ready to go out and celebrate, whatever you need to celebrate on this fine Friday night, please be careful, number one, right? Because there's a lot of things going on. A lot of craziness is going around in the world. But we hope that you guys enjoy your Friday night. Let me tell you about it. This week has been very spectacular, but let me get to the proceedings of KLP Entertainment before we can talk about the things I'd like to talk about today. We got T here. He's producing our show, but he will be talking about sports today. I'm very, very excited to have him back on the mic. Check him out on his own podcast show. It's called the Road Code Podcast. We have episodes kind of every week. And I say kind of to you as a smile and I'm laughing because, you know, when we're working on other stuff, we don't really get to all the podcasting within the week because I've said this so many times. When we're running a media company and media label, there's just so much that goes on into the media that we won't be able to get to every media show this week. So that's just like the new norm. I kind of like it. I kind of like that we have our cards stacked with content and things going out so that way you guys can kind of get something new each week, right? But I do want to say, as of this recording, we will be recording another episode of What Happened Was podcast. I think I said it on the beginning of the week on the first show. Evelyn came to the studio and we recorded an episode, but some reason the system recorded the video version of us recording and filming, but it didn't capture the audio, meaning that for some reason the system was on mute the entire time we were recording. So all you could do is see this doing this. Me and Evelyn's just talking and just having a good old time, but there's no audio. Felt really bad about that because I tried to go through a lot of, channels to get it fixed, but that was not the case here. And while we live right now, let me get a swallow of water. Yeah. Had to clear my throat a little bit. I was shouting too much in the intro. And plus, I've been talking pretty much all day. Been in meetings and producer meetings and a lot of meetings. Let me tell you, these meetings are going really well. For the audience who don't know, behind the scenes, a part of why, there's a lot going on with KLP Entertainment that I'm really, really excited about is, I have meetings, right? I had some meetings with some producers when it comes down to our next projects, right? We are still filming the Lucas Brothers Pictures, the movie. Can't wait for people to see that, of course. And if you've seen it, it is available right now on Spotify for video only. It is Street Style Back in the A. That is the fourth Street Style documentary movie that is out right now on Spotify. Exclusive deal with them. You guys can go watch it with our other production company, Oasis Originals, so that way you guys can take a look at our latest documentary. But we have been doing a lot of great things when it comes down to these meetings. Of course, we've got a total, and you guys are kind of getting the exclusive. We are planning a 3 documentary deal with KLP Entertainment. Of course, the next one will be Miami Nights. If you guys know, I announced it on Instagram and on our show here before. In the month of July, we're going to be down there in Miami for 2 weeks. The first week, we will be filming the documentary about Miami. And then the second week, we're kind of finishing up the filming aspect of it. And now we're going to enjoy the second vacation that comes down to that. So that is the first out of the 3 documentary deals that is going on within KLP Entertainment. And the second one, shout out to New York Fashion Week. It has been official that unofficial, kind of official, but unofficial because we're going to do a post about it. But it is official that in February, we will be going back to New York City for another Street Style documentary. This train ain't over. We ain't done. We don't stop it at Back in the A. We didn't stop it at Street Style forever. We're going to keep the train going because we've got something new coming out within February when it comes down to our producers and our content links up there in New York. Very, very excited for that. And then the next one, the third one will be about sickle cell awareness. I have a producer. Shout out to Tony. We met today, and we're gonna bring that into fruition as well. So that's gonna be the third documentary deal for K.L.P Entertainment. For now, very very excited for. We cooking up a lot of things. We got a lot of things going on. I'm helping other people with their podcast shows as well. So good things all around. Very very blessed and highly favored when it comes down to giving the people what they want and just really having a great time doing it. We're working hard now. So that way in June and July, well, primarily June is where I take my big vacation. I talked about it enough. Punta Cana's on its way. So I'm very, very excited for that as well. So hopefully you guys are ready for the next documentary deals that we got going on. And hopefully you guys are just ready for K.L.P Entertainment content, right? Of course, we had my girl Simone Teagues back last week, or this week really, but back in the episode earlier this week. It was good to have her back. She'll be back in the next episode. And of course, we have One Big Question with Renee Smith, the Bro Code podcast with Tyrus Lester, our producer for this show, K.L.P Aftermath, this show, LTN News. So we got some good things cooking. A lot of things are cooking with K.L.P Entertainment, and I love it. I love to see the busyness of it. And there's a lot of administrative, a lot of other things going on outside the world that you guys don't know too much about because it's kind of administrative. We try to keep proprietary information proprietary within K.L.P Entertainment. But before we get to the proceedings today, of course, this episode was brought to you by Crunch Fitness. Again, they are my loves down there, up there in Gwinnett County at Snellville. In particular, is the Snellville one that I go into. They got this new promotion for just $0 now. You can enroll to get expert training classes and trainers, and the fitness journey started again. We are approaching May. April's moving like it's got somewhere to be. So May has it to where it is around the corner. So if you guys want to get your summer body back right, now is the time to do it. Before you be able to walk on the beach, before you get ready to eat a whole bunch of crap over the summer, maybe some ice cream, maybe some cocktails, maybe some margaritas on your vacation for May and June and July. Go ahead and get your summer body started with Crunch Fitness. Excuse me. Again, you can get it enrolled for $0 down for the enrollment, and then you guys can have a great time working out. Or if you want to start off, it's just $10 a month. So let's get to it. Say to a lot of people, when you talk a lot and you've been outside a lot, drink water. Stay hydrated. All right, so let's talk about it because everybody is talking about the latest thing that happened 2 days ago. Well, last night, rather, about it because we're going to upload tonight. Midnight Thursday itself. It was a great day, kind of, I guess, for Nintendo. Obviously, Nintendo's pre-orders for the Nintendo Switch 2 went live at midnight at 12 p.m. in retail stores online. And then on Thursday, you could go to GameStop starting at 11 to do your pre-order. And I wanted to give you guys my experience about the whole experience because it was such an experience, right? So on Wednesday night, coming into Thursday, I had to make sure that everything was done in the office. I had to make sure all my errands were done because I knew at home, when I got home, I was not leaving when it was like around 11 o'clock. I was at home on the couch with my laptop and my phone and my iPad. I had a whole bunch of things open around 11:30, 12 o'clock at that prime time, right? So I had my laptop. I had my iPad on because I was watching Family Guy, killing some time. And then I had my laptop right in my lap, pun intended. I had Best Buy open. I had Target open. I had Walmart open. Hell, I even had GameStop websites open with all my accounts logged in, ready to go. And then I had my phone as a backup for looking from the Target app as well. If you guys know, you know. The Switch 2 pre-orders went live. And first and foremost, I'll go ahead and get this part out the way, T. I am happy to say that I have secured a pre-order from Walmart. Believe it or not. Oh boy, howdy! Let me tell you, the Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order was very stressful. It was the hardest thing that I could ever dabble. T. Like it was the hardest thing because typically I've never done a pre-order before. If you look at all the other game systems that I've collected over the years, the 3DS, the PlayStation 4, GameCube, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, those two were hand-me-downs. My brother gave me those because that was my big brother's. My PlayStation 4, my PlayStation Vita, the Wii U, the Wii, right? My PlayStation 5 and the original OG Switch. I've never done a pre-order, right? I've never done a pre-order because A, I couldn't afford it at the time, and B, I was a kid. So typically my parents got it for me for either a birthday or Christmas for some of those consoles, right? And then I waited a couple years to get some of these consoles. With the PlayStation 4, I didn't get the PlayStation 4 when it first came out. I didn't get the Switch when it first came out. I waited a couple years because I was playing on another console, and then I had to transition over to a different console because the console that I had before, they didn't have games producing for those. So never done a pre-order. I've done pre-orders for video games before. Back then, you never really have to worry about, back in the day, ooh, those were the days. Back in the day, you never really had to worry about pre-orders being out of stock or sold out, right? You never really had to worry about that. Especially nowadays, when you buy a video game, you can buy a video game online. You definitely don't have to worry about it being sold out. If a game that you buy online, they can't sell out, right? Unless the server crashed or something. So I've never done a pre-order before. So, I knew when we first saw the Switch 2 Direct, and I was hooked about the Switch 2 for a couple things, right? I like the idea of a handheld console. I'm a big Nintendo guy. I do like the look of that new Donkey Kong game. That's something I'm going to pick up in July. In my family, we played Mario Kart for years, so why not? Getting choked up here. So why not play the Mario Kart game, the newest one, right, for Switch? So, of course, obviously, I'm going to buy that one. I'm hooked on Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, right? I'm hooked on that. I can't wait to see. They're going to have their own Direct, and I think on that Direct, we're going to get more ideas of when the game comes out. It probably will come out like October, November, holiday season, really is what I think is going to happen with Metroid Prime 4. So I've been drawn into the new games that we're getting for Nintendo. I have. The console looks amazing. It looks very powerful. It looks very, very good. So obviously, yes, I'm going to pre-order this thing because why not? Boy, howdy. When I tell y'all I had a time the other night having these tabs open. So I saw Walmart first is what I saw, and Walmart had a counter, right? Like a countdown. Best Buy and Target didn't have a countdown necessarily, but Walmart had a countdown. So he was counting them down. Things were getting counted down for Walmart. Best Buy and Target was open. And typically, I do have accounts for all of these things. So I listen to a lot of YouTubers when it comes down to their guides when you pre-order. Go ahead and have your accounts loaded up. Go ahead and put your card on file. Whatever card you're going to use, put it on file so that way it's right there. You're ready to go buy 2 buttons, right? So I was so smart to do that. So Walmart gets count down to the last second. We ready to go. We pumped. I'm like right here, right up on my laptop. Family Guy, the show is just playing black background, but I'm glued to my laptop. T, like I'm watching it. I'm like, okay, here it come. We going. Don't blink. You gonna miss it. Then the counter goes down. Nothing happened after that. It didn't generate it to another page or not. So I had to refresh a little bit for a quick split second. And then Walmart says, hey, we got you in line. It could take a few minutes. It could take longer. We got you in line. So I quickly shifted to Best Buy. And the thing is with Best Buy, with the pre-orders, Best Buy didn't launch until like 20, 30 minutes after midnight. But mind you, we're on the East Coast. We're here in Atlanta. A lot of people on the West Coast, they started at 9 p.m., which was fantastic for them. 12 o'clock at midnight, with me, I'm old. I ain't gonna say I'm old, but like I got a bedtime, right? After when it's 12 o'clock, I'm in the bed somewhere. I'm tired. I'm sleeping. But I was up because I knew I needed to do this. Best Buy didn't go live until about 20 minutes later. And then when Best Buy went live, that's when I clicked it, and then I was in line for Best Buy. So I was in line for Best Buy, Walmart, I was still in line. Target was the biggest L because I had my Target account pulled up. Information's right, everything's ready to go. And I was able to add the Mario Kart bundle to my cart, right? I was able to add it on into it. And I was like, oh shit. Okay, Target might be the winner because it's already in my cart. Let me go check it out. And when I go to check out, I kept getting errors, right? I kept getting the errors that everybody's been getting. A lot of people, for me, it is true. For me, Target, my error, they kept saying my address was wrong, which I know where I live, right? I know the card that is registered to where I live. I know where I live. So I know my zip code is right. I know my city is right. My state is right. I know everything is right. Target had so many issues. So as I'm waiting in line for these two, I checked GameStop because apparently I guess GameStop went live too, but GameStop sold out quickly online, like very quickly. And really GameStop was targeting people to be in the store that morning. I wasn't going to do that because I know people wait in line for 3 hours for their pre-order, which is safe too, because you can't, once you in the first 100 people in line, then you can't really, there's no way there's going to be a mistake. The store can't crash, right? You know, the customer, the salesperson at GameStop, and you interacting, you paying for the pre-order, it can't crash, right? For me, I don't have the patience to sit in line for 3 hours for a pre-order. I lose patience. And there's, from my house, I want to say there's about 2 GameStops around in my area near my house. I just didn't have the patience to do that. So that's why I was banking so much on online order, because I like the comforts of my own home. I do. So I think what saved me in this pre-order is luck and streams, right? A lot of YouTubers out there, the big YouTube stars out there, every YouTuber was streaming live. Everybody was streaming it. I thought about streaming it myself, but then, you know, I would be so distracted I wouldn't. So I went in and just plugged up my iPad, and it had, like, I had to click a video for a streamer, some YouTuber who was streaming the event about pre-ordering. And I was listening to the guy. I was listening to what he was doing, and I was kind of matching what he was doing. Like, everybody was just like watching this stream and then doing what he's doing, right? So what ended up happening with Target, right? The error bugged out, and then eventually I tried the app, and the app was saying my address was wrong too, and my card was wrong, which I had my card loaded on my app, but then I had my card that I wanted to use in my hand, so I knew it wasn't a me error. So it bugged out, it went crazy, and they kicked me out of my cart at Target, right? They deleted the console from my cart and kicked me out, right? It kicked everybody out because everybody was experiencing the same thing, where they kicked them out, and then all of a sudden Target said, hey, we're sold out in the pre-order. So that's why Target took the biggest L, because of those errors that it was having. Which, hey, it happens. But hey, now my, excuse me, my next 2 resorts here is Best Buy and Walmart. I waited in line for Best Buy for over an hour, right? And we were still not getting anything. After 20 minutes after they went live, I put in line for the console. I was in line for over an hour. Same thing with Walmart. But then I started to look at the stream, the YouTubers, and they were saying that Walmart, a lot of people are able to secure their pre-order from Walmart. So what I ended up doing was I refreshed the website, which kicked me out of line. But then I quickly, excuse me, searched the Mario Kart bundle, clicked it, and then it looked fine. And, you know, pre-orders there. You pre-order, you click the pre-order button, clicked it. It gave me a way to make sure my address and my card method of payment was right. I said, proceed to checkout, pay for it. Boom, I got my confirmation. And of course, my card gave me an alert like, hey, you're spending so much money at Walmart. What's going on? What's up with this? So I am glad that some banking companies they have fraud protection, right? You got to be careful from bots and fraud protection. So, of course, I text like, "Yep, that's me. I'm making that purchase. That's right." And boy, howdy, I got my Switch pre-order from Walmart. And that's all I needed. That's all I needed. You know, I got my confirmation. I checked the email. It was legit from Walmart. I checked my Walmart account, right? Because I do have a Walmart account. Because I've ordered a lot of stuff from Walmart. Believe it or not, I ordered cameras. I ordered equipment, and believe it or not, I ordered my new bed. Right, I recently got a new bed about 2 months ago now ish, and I ordered it from Walmart. And it just, even though I get it, a lot of people boycotting Walmart and Target and all that. I get it. I understand, but this was the only way to get the Switch at this point, right? Because I was not going to bank on waiting until May 8th for it to possibly, for my Nintendo account to be selected to win the lottery. And then news are saying that once you select it from the Nintendo lottery, you may not get it on June 5th as well. So I think a lot of people are putting a risk on this because, my pre-order still says expected by June 5th. That's launch day for Switch 2. Some people were saying expected by the 6th or the 11th. So some people may not get it until the week after it launches. So it's just one of those things that it's kind of up in the air. We have to really look forward to and just keep looking into. But it feels good to secure that Switch 2. And then once I got my email confirmation and my account, my banking account notified me of the fraud alert, make sure it was me that was making the purchase, and it came out of my account, I was satisfied. So that way I exit out of Best Buy because I'm one of those people where I know a lot of people are buying multiple stocks of the Switch 2s because they're helping friends out, which, okay, because I get it where some people might buy 3 or 4 Switch 2s to give to their buddies because it's hard. The pre-orders were hard to get to. Nowadays, it was a clusterfuck, honestly. But there are people who buy 3 and 4 or 5 Switches because they're going to scalp them. They're going to say, okay, we have a bundle, but we want $800 for it. We want $900 for it. And then a lot of people say, oh, that's capitalism. That's a business venture. It's normal. But it sucks for the people who just legitimately want one and trying to get one and pay the good price for one. And they can't get one, right? There's a lot of YouTubers, and it made me feel kind of like special because I'll be honest, there are bigger YouTube stars than we are on YouTube, right? Some of the big YouTube stars couldn't secure their pre-order. So I kind of felt special, like, dang, this famous YouTuber, your big YouTuber, you couldn't secure your pre-order, but I could as a smaller YouTuber. I don't know. It's just something about it that makes me laugh. But I do say this was a clusterfuck. It was hard to pre-order. It was very anxious. I don't think I would have a fear of FOMO, a fear of missing out. I don't think so. If I just was not able to secure one, then I would have been like, okay, it is what it is. We'll have to wait until launch day, and we're not going to really cry about it. Right? Some people was willing to give the shirt off their back for it. I wasn't going to do that, but, I stayed up for about an hour to try to see if it was going to work, and it worked for me. So, like I say, and then again, a lot of people, they did their pre-orders at GameStop during the day when the stores open. They waited 3 or 4 hours in line. I just wasn't going to do that again because I just thought I was not going to get up there early because I'm not an early morning person anyway. I'm an evening person. I'm not a morning person. So it's just kind of like, ugh, I'll just do this online so that way I can sleep, right? Sleep is very important for me because if I miss out on sleep, then it just kind of imbalances a lot of things for me. So, but yeah, it was hard. It was very, very hard for the pre-orders. So congratulations to the people who were able to get your pre-orders in. I think it's going to be a great time for gamers. Really, honestly, I think it's going to be very, very good. It is true. I don't want to hear people saying drop the price because I remember when Switch 2 first came out, or the announcement first came out, and you're looking at a $500 console along with an $80 game. Obviously, I got the Mario Kart bundle, so essentially I pay $50 because of the bundle. but a lot of people were saying, drop the price. It's too expensive. It's too expensive. But then there was a lot of people who pre-ordered because the websites crashed. Walmart and Best Buy crashed at some point now. Even Walmart at one point said, hey, we sold out. But nope, lying. We just kidding, right? So it was a lot. And then GameStop online sold out quickly. Target sold out very quickly. And then Best Buy eventually sold out. And it sucks for Best Buy because people were in line for an hour in Best Buy, just holding the tab open for them to get kicked out and say, oh, yep, we're sold out. So, hey, one of those things that does happen is probably sold out right now. Let me just do an experiment too, just in case, here while we doing it, while we're talking about it. Yeah, Best Buy sold out as of today, right? It's too late to kind of get a pre-order in, honestly. But they have it to where it looks like it's sold out for that as well for Best Buy. And I'm looking at the same thing, Target. Target's sold out right now as well. So, hey, this is going to be a great console now. This console is going to sell millions, right? This console is going to be a success. But we can't complain about that price because everybody bought it. Yeah, so shout out to the people who if you secured your Switch 2 console, congratulations to you. I can't wait until June. I think June, like I say, knock on wood, my pre-order set is going to be delivered to the house on June 5th. I can't wait because I am going to do a unboxing episode. I think what I might do is get mic'd up on a personal mic. I think we're gonna come here right here in the studio and do the unboxing. And we're gonna pull these microphones out and I'm just gonna wire it on my shirt so that way we can give you guys an unboxing. So stay tuned. I know that's about 2 months from now, so you gotta wait for that one. Because no one has their Switch 2 yet. Everybody has to wait until June. But as soon as mine come in to the house, I'm gonna bring it right here in Atlanta to the studio, and I'm going to do a first look and an unboxing. Kind of like I did the PlayStation 5, but I did that at another studio at that time. So that was fun to do. So it's coming. June is when we'll do the unboxing. Boy, howdy. Did you guys see the Last of Us recent episode? So the last episode 2, I hope that's right. Episode 2, they expanded more with Ellie and Joel. They're trying to rebel from their fight that they have, but they've gone through some stuff. And of course, the infected does, spoiler alert to a lot of people, by the way, I'm sorry, but I got to talk about it. I'm a podcaster. But the infected does get infected into the gated city of Wyoming that they're in. The invasion have started where the infected crawls through the city and tries to infect and kill everybody. Meanwhile, Dina and Joel is on patrol, but as they were getting this, really it's kind of, so it's a little bit of their fault, but then Abby was kind of on patrol as well. And then she sees Joel and them on patrol. So she falls down the mountain and she falls into this, what looks like a pool of infected. They come alive. She's running like hell. And of course, they're trying to run away from the infected, the crowd of infected. Meanwhile, she is running away. She runs into Joel. When she ran into Joel in one of the cities, I was like, Joel, don't do it. Joel, don't do. That's the person that's trying to kill you. So Joel, being the hero that he is, he says, kid, come with us. We got a city. But then she said, no, we got a house up in the hill with all my other crew members. Come with us. Right. Meanwhile, if you guys don't know, because if you didn't play the video game, you're not gonna know. Addie and friends and her friends, they're part of the Fireflies. But then season 2, Joel tries to rescue Ellie because they were testing on Ellie. And then one of the doctors was trying to test on Ellie. But Joel kills the doctor. And guess who the doctor is? The doctor is the father of Abby. So, of course, he is out for revenge. Joel killed my daddy. I'm going to kill him, right? That's the whole synopsis of that, of last season, right? So, as Joel saves Abby with the Dina, of course, they're freezing. They're going to the house because they're cold. It's cold as frozen hell out there. So they had to go to the house, right? They go to the house And I knew something was gonna happen because Joel don't know that he's been haunted, right? Meanwhile, you got Ellie and I forgot the other guy's name. Let me see if I can get his name up here. I forgot his character's name here. Let me see if I can get a cast list going real quick because I forgot his name. Season 2 cast. What's his name? What's the character's name? Come on, give me his name. All right, y'all know who I'm referring to. I just forgot his name. I forgot the characters that he's Jesse. Jesse is his name. I think it's Jesse. Yeah, Jesse. Okay. So Jesse and Ellie, they're on patrol as well, but then they make kind of a pit stop because they're on patrol. They got radio from Jackson, Wyoming, and say, "Hey, something's happening. Y'all need to get back to the fort." They try to make their way back to the fort, but then they ended up splitting up, and then Ellie finds her way near the house that Joel, Dina, and Abby is at, and of course, boy howdy, Joel is getting the living shit beat out of him. Of course, Abby, let me tell you, the actress who plays Abby, she does really, really good. She does a very, very good job in her monologue, I gotta say. She's very good. So she gives her monologue to Joel and say, "Hey, you killed my daddy. Now you must die." But then they poison Dina first. They sticked her with some stuff. She's out cold, knocked out. And of course, Abby is out for blood for Joel again. The blood shoots him in the knee, takes a golf club, beating the living crap out of him. Of course, and then at the same time, Abby's punching the living hell out of Joel. And then you got Ellie to come in and say, "Hey, there's Joel. Oh, look at all these people." And of course, Abby kills Joel. Sticks him in the neck with a piece of a golf club. Let me tell you, great episode. Very, very good how the way they filmed it. Obviously, we knew this was happening because Joel died in the video game, so he does in the real person in the episode. It kind of makes sense. A lot of people did ask, why did they kill Joel off early? You guys got to remember, Pedro Pascal is playing a lot of characters right now. I get why he dies in video game because they want he dies in the video game, so they have to relate more to the video game. But Pedro Pascal needs a minute to breathe because he's going back to Alpine Studios and Marvel Studios to play Mr. Fantastic in Doomsday, right? He did a lot. He did season 1, right? He was in another movie. Then he did Last of Us season 2 filming, and then he did Gladiator, or I don't know which one came first, Gladiator, and then he did Fantastic Four that's getting ready to come out in July. The man's tired in a good way. He's tired. He's exhausted. He need a minute, and he has to go do Doomsday now. So Pedro Pascal, shout out to him. He's on the peak. He's on the peak of his acting career. It's very, very sad though, because Joel is a good father figure to Ellie, and it's just very, I don't know, it's very sad to see. It's very, very sad to see a character die, a beloved character to die, but he does die in the video game, so he has to die in the TV show, the character meaning. Yeah, it's a very good one. It's a very good show thus far. Again, still top rating for Rotten Tomatoes. I can't wait for this Sunday. I can't wait for the next episode, see what's next. Right? Do they survive the apocalypse invasion from the affected? How will Ellie feel now that Joel is no longer on Earth? He dies. So we'll see what happens again. Shout out to Last of Us, man. I love it. I'm here for it. All right, we got T. His mic is ready. He's going to talk about the latest in sports. T, take it away.
Yes, Kennedy. Thank you for the mic. Here's the latest in sports. The New York Giants selected Penn State star Abdul Carter with the 3rd overall pick in the first round of the NFL draft on Thursday night. Who knows? Carter could be their next Lawrence Taylor, a pass-rushing menace who headlines a defense for years to come. It still wasn't the main headline for the Giants. That belonged to quarterback Jackson Dart, the player they traded up to take with the 25 overall pick. Shadur Sanders, at one point the favorite to go 3rd overall to the Giants, wasn't selected in the first round at all. Dart, who multiple sources said in the lead-up to the draft was a quarterback of choice for Coach Brian Dable, impressed the Giants throughout the process with his demeanor in meetings, work on the board, and workouts. Yeah, again, we went through an extensive process and moved up for Jackson. We're fired up to have him, General Manager Joe Schoen said. At the end of the day, we went through the process. We ranked them. This is how we had them ranked. And with Jackson, we thought the value matched up. Dart, an Ole Miss product, is positioned to be the Giants' quarterback of the future. That's an important piece for Dable and Schoen, considering owner John Mara said solidifying the most pivotal position on the roster was the team's top priority this offseason. Now it's about putting the 21-year-old in a developmental program that could help save the franchise and everyone's jobs. This is what they brought Dable and offensive coordinator Mike Kafka to New York for in the first place back in 2022. Dable was instrumental in the development of Josh Allen in Buffalo, and Kafka has been credited with playing a key role in the growth of a young Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. Schoen and Dable hadn't drafted a quarterback in each of their first 3 drafts. Instead, their big quarterback move was signing Daniel Jones to an ill-fated contract extension after 2022. Jones was benched and eventually cut by the Giants last season. Schoen and Dable have certainly delivered on Mara's goal to revamp the quarterback room. First, they signed Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston in free agency, while retaining Tommy DeVito, who may now be the odd man out. They then added the final piece of the puzzle in Dart, who immediately becomes the most important player for the franchise's future. In the meantime, the Giants were adamant that Wilson remains a starter after signing with the team this offseason. Winston is next in line, while Dart will have to wait. That will play out. Russ will be our starter. That is how it will be once we get started here in the spring. Dable said, "Look, the process of developing a quarterback is just that. So we're going to do everything we can to develop Dart and bring him along. It's possible that Dart doesn't even get on the field this season. That might not matter in relation to Schoen and Dable's futures. If the Giants can improve on a 3-14 campaign and they have a potential future franchise quarterback to sell, that could be enough to buy them time. Would Mara really want a young quarterback to start over in year 2 with a new offensive scheme and coaches? Unlikely, considering that is what he once said messed up Daniel Jones. The difference this time around was the Giants, again with multiple picks in the first round, took the blue-chip player first in Carter and waited patiently before making a move for Dart. They didn't start looking to trade up until pick 23, even though many thought the Pittsburgh Steelers were a threat to select a quarterback at 21. The Steelers ultimately landed on Oregon defensive tackle Derek Harmon. Schoen said on Thursday night he didn't want to part with the Giants' first third-round pick, 65. So he waited and swung the deal for the cost of second-round selection 34, their second third-rounder 99, and a 2026 third-round pick to the Houston Texans for pick 25 and the right to select Dart. The Giants decided that Dart, the young man from Utah who attended the same high school as Zach Wilson, had what it takes to be the next face of the franchise in New York. Dart is confident he's built for it all. No doubt, he said emphatically, drawing chuckles in the room over Dart's exuberance. The Giants, Schoen and Dable sure hope this is their guy. They bet big on that belief. I just feel like I got an edge to me, Dart said. I feel like everybody in the city does as well. Let's get to it. Our ESPN fantasy football analysts Liz Loza and Matt Bowen offer their analysis of each skill position player selected in the first 3 rounds of the 2025 NFL Draft, and Mike Clay provides his projections for these incoming rookies. In addition, Stefania Bell highlights any injury concerns worth noting. Will Cam Ward be worthy of starting in fantasy leagues during his rookie season? What should be expected from Ashton Janty, Amarian Hampton, Travion Henderson, and Quinton Judkins in the strong class of running backs? Will dual-threat player Travis Hunter make the biggest impression among this year's rookie wide receivers? And are tight ends Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland poised to make a splash similar to what Brock Bowers did last season? A big arm thrower with the movement skills to get out of trouble, plus the creativity to work outside of structure, Ward is a solid fit for a Titans offense that will lean on 3 receiver sets. Ward has a top target in Calvin Ridley, and the team recently signed Tyler Lockett. Yes, War will have to play with more consistent rhythm as a pro passer, but he brings a much-needed playmaking element to Tennessee, and that translates to fantasy production. I see Ward as a starter in 2 QB and Superflex formats with the ability to climb the ranks as the season progresses. Mike Clay's 2025 projection: 110 targets, 73 receptions, 880 yards, 5 TDs. For carries, 25 yards, 25 tackles, 15 games. An unprecedented talent. Hunter won both the Chuck Bednarik Award as the nation's top defensive player and the Fred Biletnikoff Award as the nation's premier wide receiver. Jacksonville moved up 3 spots to secure Hunter, whose unique skill set fills holes on both sides of the ball. The Colorado product figures to work in tandem with Brian Thomas Jr., thriving as an additional speed element in Liam Cohen's up-tempo offense. Hunter's snap count remains a bit of a mystery, but he should stay on the field for upward of 60% of the team's offensive opportunities. He's an intriguing flex option with WR2 upside for fantasy purposes. Mike Clay's 2025 projection: 236 carries, 1,087 yards, 8 TDs. 70 targets, 56 receptions, for 130 yards, 2 TDs, 14 games. Janney steps into the lead role in the Raiders' backfield under offensive coordinator Chip Kelly. He is a difference maker with home run ability and elite contact balance. Janney led the nation with 2,601 yards rushing at Boise State last season and should see consistent usage as a receiver on backfield releases. Given his high-end traits, plus the anticipated weekly volume in Vegas, Janney is in position to produce RB1 numbers as a rookie. A big-bodied wideout, 6'4", 219 pounds. With a volleyball background, McMillan excels in contested situations. He's a versatile player who figures to dominate as an X-receiver, but can also succeed as a power slot option at the next level. His 3,423 career receiving yards were the most in Arizona history, illustrating his ability to move the chains and produce. He's likely to make an immediate impact and quickly emerge as Bryce Young's favorite target. Given the lack of elite options in Carolina, McMillan has top 25 receiver potential. Mike Clay's 2025 projection: 81 targets, 54 receptions, 599 yards, for TDs, 15 games. Loveland will give the Bears more formation flexibility out of 2 TE sets due to his route running traits. At 6'6", 248 pounds, Loveland can work all 3 levels of the field, and he presents issues for opposing defenses out of slot alignment, where he can stretch the seams or separate from coverage on crossers and over routes. In Chicago, Loveland will be deployed as a third receiver for quarterback Caleb Williams, and head coach Ben Johnson will scheme him to create space and favorable matchups. Loveland fits as a T2 with streaming upside. Mike Clay's 2025 projection: 75 targets, 51 receptions, 552 yards, 4 TDs, 15 games. A former high school quarterback, who also lettered in baseball and basketball, Warren is a do-it-all prospect with an elite ceiling at the position. The John Mackey Award winner is an outstanding mover who can run routes at all 3 levels. Warren rewrote the Nittany Lions record books, setting Penn State's tight end single-season marks with 104 receptions and 1,233 receiving yards in 2024. He fills a massive need for the Colts, a team that has been without a top 5 fantasy TE since Eric Ebron in 2018. Warren figures to make an immediate impact working as an offensive playmaker for either of Indy's QBs. He has the potential to finish as a top 10 TE as a rookie, a receiver with inside/outside flexibility. Egbuka caught 81 passes last season at Ohio State. He is a smooth route runner who can uncover and make himself available to the quarterback. Plus, Egbuka is competitive after the catch. In Tampa, Egbuka joins a wide receiver room with established veterans Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, while Jalen McMillan caught 8 touchdowns as a rookie in 2024. Tampa's WR depth does lower Egbuka's fantasy ceiling this season, however. He should be targeted early in dynasty drafts. This election raises concern about the progression of Godwin, who suffered a fracture/dislocation in his left ankle in Week 7 and subsequently underwent surgery to repair it. after he re-signed with the Buccaneers on a 3-year deal with 2 years guaranteed. Most assumed that indicated Godwin was on track to return at or near the start of the season. The thing about medicine, however, is until all the benchmarks are met on the return-to-play path, there's always at least a possibility they won't be. The Bucs' decision prioritized a wide receiver with their first pick of the draft, almost 2 months after re-signing Godwin, strongly suggests a downward turn in his status. Mike Clay's 2025 projection: 189 carries, 834 yards, 8 TDs, 45 targets, 35 receptions, 256 yards, 1 TD, 14 games. An aggressive downhill runner with excellent contact balance and reliable hands, Hampton was one of just 3 FBS players to clear 2,000 scrimmage yards in 2024. He also excelled at the goal line, making North Carolina history as the only Tar Heel with at least 15 rushing touchdowns in back-to-back seasons. There's a lot of Najee Harris in his game, which is interesting considering he'll be joining the former Steeler in Los Angeles. While Hampton's playing style is an excellent fit for Greg Roman's offense, volume figures to be an issue for fantasy purposes. Still, the rookie should lead the Bolts' backfield while earning enough touches to garner low-end RB2 fantasy numbers. With his 4.29 speed and ball-tracking ability, Golden brings a playmaking element to Matt LaFleur's offense in Green Bay. Last season at Texas, Golden led the country with 23 receptions of 20 or more yards. Plus, he can work the underneath levels of the route tree from multiple alignments. With Christian Watson still recovering from a knee injury, Golden can emerge quickly as a target for quarterback Jordan Love. As a rookie, Golden projects as an upside WR3. Mike Clay's 2025 projection: 263 of 427, 2,795 yards, 16 TDs, 12 INTs, 57 carries, 270 yards, 2 TDs, 13 starts. Dart is the winningest QB in Ole Miss history, a mobile pocket passer with above-average arm strength and the ability to extend plays with his legs. He proved particularly accurate when passing to the intermediate levels of the field. Interestingly, 49 of his 81 career passing scores came on play action. He has been frequently compared to Jalen Hurts throughout the draft process. He'll have time to work toward the ceiling of that lofty comp, as Russell Wilson is expected to be named New York's starting QB this fall. Dart offers little fantasy value in standard redraft leagues, but could prove to be a solid investment for dynasty enthusiasts. So much went wrong for the Los Angeles Lakers in their playoff opening 117-95 loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves that there was no obvious top-line issue to fix. The Wolves lit them up from the perimeter, setting a franchise postseason record with 21 three-pointers. They dominated L.A. in transition points 25-6. And the Lakers' offense, which ranked a respectable 11th during the regular season, sputtered down the stretch. It mustered just 17 points in the fourth quarter, with Luka Doncic recording just 1 assist a game, more than 6 below his season average, and LeBron James totaling 19 points, more than 5 below his. Just a few minutes into Tuesday's Game 2, the Lakers began to course correct with the help of a single patented play between their 2 stars. The sequence began when Minnesota forward Jaden McDaniels missed a corner 3, with Austin Reeves using an all-out sprint to close out on him in contest. Lakers forward Rui Hachimura hauled in the rebound and advanced the ball forward to Doncic on the right wing. By the time he received the pass in the backcourt, just beyond the three-point line, James had already burst into the front court, with only Wolves point guard Mike Conley in position to defend him as he beelined toward the hoop. Doncic took one dribble and turned up court when he spotted James. Seizing the opportunity, Doncic immediately uncorked a 50-foot outlet pass that sailed over Conley's head, landing softly into James' hands to set up a point-blank shot that he deposited into the rim. "It's easy," Doncic told ESPN after the game. "I know what he's going to do. He's going to beat his defender, and I just throw it up there. It's not hard." The score put L.A. up 7-4 with 8:45 remaining in the first quarter and served as a sample of the Lakers' adjustments that were about to come. Doncic finished with 9 assists. The Lakers flipped a fast-break scoring battle 13-6, and L.A. won the game 94-85 to even the series 1-1. as the series shifts to Minneapolis for Game 3 on Friday, 9:30 p.m. ESPN, and the Wolves know 6th-ranked defense stiffens at home. The Luka-LeBron connection will serve not only as an advantageous wrinkle to the Lakers' offense, but an example of the dangerous alliance the pair have already established on what they hope is a long championship run. One thing about Luka, James told ESPN, you got to be at the right spot at the right time, or you got to make the connection, or he won't pass you the ball like that. So I think he trusts me. Doncic and James flashed their fast break telepathy in their first game together with the Lakers, a 132-113 win over the Utah Jazz on February 10. With the Lakers already up by 20 late in the second quarter, James ran to contest a Lauri Markkanen 3 on the wing and kept running past the Jazz forward to the other basket. After the miss, Doncic grabbed the rebound in the paint, took one dribble up the court, and guided a pass some 65 feet to find James in stride for a layup. After the score, James raised his left hand and pointed his index finger toward his new teammate as he got back on defense, acknowledging the masterful play. I think instantly you saw just the ability to feed off each other in transition, particularly with Luka as an outlet passer, LeBron running or getting down the court, and creating an early cross match and getting that early seal. Lakers coach J.J. Redick said when asked about the early signs of chemistry between the two, we saw that sort of right away. Such plays and chemistry have long been part of the playbook for the 22-year veteran. If you watch Bron's career, whenever he had great passers who could make that pass, Kevin Love, Dwayne Wade, it was always effective. Lakers forward Dorian Finney-Smith told ESPN, Bron does a good job of reading those passes. I think that's definitely an advantage and gives us easy points. It's hard to get easy points in the league. Lakers guard Gabe Vincent agreed. Great players got to get easy buckets too. Sometimes that's the easiest shot that he's going to get all game. In 21 games together before the playoffs, Doncic found James for 5 assists off passes that traveled 60-plus feet, according to Genius IQ tracking. It was the most by any two players in the league to link up for such long ball feeds in the last 2 months of the regular season. James has defied every established NBA norm for an aging player, but he isn't approaching a game in 2025 like he did when he was in his 20s. His first step off the dribble isn't as devastating as it used to be. He can't simply outleap his defender to finish over him like before. Through the first 2 games of the Minnesota series, Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert have done a serviceable job containing him in the half court. But James' mental grasp of the game is as strong as ever. In 2018, he admitted to saving pockets of energy throughout a game by figuring out which possessions he can rest while a teammate orchestrates the offense, so he can expend more energy on defense. Playing wide receiver to Doncic's quarterback is just his latest update to the software. When asked before the start of the playoffs what has been key to his chemistry with Doncic, James deferred to his 26-year-old counterpart. Offensively, give Luka the ball. If we stay ready, James said, we never got to get ready. When the Wolves were readying themselves to play the Lakers on February 27 for the first time after L.A. had acquired Doncic, Minnesota coach Chris Finch's mind darted from place to place, contemplating how much of a handful James would still be without the ball in his hands as much. If you're overhelping the gaps, you're going to open massive runways for him to get downhill. That's not going to end well for a defense, generally. Finch said before that game, we spent a lot of our coaches meeting talking about LeBron playing off ball and what that does to a defense. It's a whole nother threat level. The Lakers won that night, with James scoring 33 points on 11-4, 21 shooting with 6 assists. Doncic added 21 points on 6-4, 20 shooting with 5 assists, while Reeves tallied 23 points and 5 assists. When Minnesota secured the 6th seed and locked in a first-round matchup with L.A., one of the specific aims of the Wolves' game plan, sources told ESPN, was to limit James in transition, believing that if they force him to work in half-court sets, he could tire over the course of a long series. Through 2 games, it has been a successful effort. That outlet feed from Doncic accounts for James' only 2 transition points a series. He averaged 6.0 transition points per game in the regular season, 6th best in the NBA. The Wolves' strategy is comparable to a mix of man and zone coverage on the football field, sources said. After a Minnesota miss, 2 of its players are supposed to get back, with one defender attaching himself to James man-to-man. Meanwhile, the Wolves players who crash the offensive glass are asked to pressure Donich if he gets the ball and not give him a clean pocket to unfurl any passes to pay dirt. But it's hardly time for Finch to rest easy. The Lakers haven't tried James at QB and Donich as a receiver yet this series. After all, passing to each other, them two mother affairs? It sounds crazy to even be saying that. Finney Smith said, 2 years ago, that S would have sounded fake. What am I saying? 2 years ago. 2 months ago, it would have sounded fake.
All right. Thanks, T. We love to hear it. We love to hear it. Now, before we wrap up this episode today, excuse me. I do have an anime review, an anime TV show to review. Gosh, you guys are getting a lot of reviews today. I'm going to do a review next week on Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. That game's fantastic, by the way. I just haven't finished a whole lot of it yet, so I don't want to give too much away or give a half review. But reviews coming out for that game very, very soon. I did mention it in the intro, by the way. Thank you guys so much. The Lucas Tribune reaches over 1,000 followers on Instagram. And I cannot thank you guys enough with the talent, the writers, the website itself, LTN News, right? We have that on there sometimes. And we write about some good, interesting topics. So we hope y'all like it. We were featured in Voyage ATL's Hidden Gems a few weeks back. So again, that's just something that is just fantastic. I remember real quick before we talk about the show here, it all started when I went to Chicago, when I saw that the Chicago Tribune had a big building, and the Chicago Tribune is a newsletter media conglomerate in Chicago and the surrounding areas, along trying to compete with New York Times and Wall Street. And I said, okay, that's what I'm going to build in Atlanta, the Lucas Tribune. And it's skyrocketed from there. So I thank y'all for that as well. I love it. I love to see the growth of the show, and I love it. Now, anime review. Again, this anime is available at Crunchyroll. Is Aya sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. Now, each episode, I try to watch new anime to give you guys a review on the podcast, because you guys know I am an anime lover, right? I'm trying to be patient with Dragon Ball Daima. They don't release all the dubbed versions all at once, so I have to wait, right? So hopefully I ain't got to wait too much for sure. Now, Ayla is a girl, obviously, in this anime show. She ignores her nerdy classmate, Kazi. And then again, I said it in previous reviews. If I say these names wrong, I'm so sorry. Kazi Masachika, except when she blurts out a flirtatious line to him in Russian. Little does she know, Kazi understands Russian through his pretends not to know. But pretends not to know. Very, very good anime. Again, you have this girl named Ayla, who is kind of a slice of life anime to where she has friends and she likes this boy. She has a thing for this boy. This boy has a thing for her, but they don't know it yet, right? They don't know it yet until they express their true feelings. She's part Russian, so she'll say some things in Russian. And let me tell you, people from Russia and Russian accents are so sexy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Russian accents are sexy, right? So it just really works wonders for that. And then it's just kind of like a nice cutesy type anime that is available right now. Crunchyroll rates it a 4.8 out of 5. IMDb gives it a 7.2 out of 10. So it's still a C. Not bad at all. I'm watching it, and it's really, really good. It's very cutesy. It's very cutesy anime. It's really a love story. It's really a slice of life type of show. I can't wait to see more from this show. We hope that there's season 2 of this too. But it's really, really good that she's expressing her feelings, because I do feel like just a couple days ago, I do feel like a couple of girls that I know out there in my world, they might secretly like me in the secret world, but they don't know how to express it. Right? I had a lot of girls like that too, where a lot of people like me, but they don't know how to tell me that they like me. They don't know how to express it because maybe they're nervous. Maybe they're shy. And that's probably what Isla's doing. She is shy to let this boy know that she got a crush on him. So, like I say, when girls do this, they do this. They play with our hearts. Sometimes they play with us. So hopefully they find love again. If you want another new anime show to watch, I really recommend this one. It's cutesy. The animation style is pretty great. There are some hot moments, if you know what I mean, right? It's not, I don't want to say it's all iche, right? Because that word is just kind of like pervertic. So it's not like that, right? But it's got some spice to it that works in storytelling. It works. And let me tell you, that stuff sells, right? It sells. It gets me hooked. I'm sorry. I'm not weird. I'm not creepy about it. But when I watch it, I'm like, oh, okay, what's going to happen next, right? Like I say, very, very good show. I really recommend this one via Crunchyroll as well. So that's going to wrap it up here on our podcast episode here today. We hope that you guys enjoy this episode. I did just see on Instagram that Gunther from WWE was fined heavily for the attack on Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. Good to see that. I know that's part of the story, but boy, howdy, when I tell you that attack was interesting. I watched so of course I'm a Pat McAfee guy. So I listened to his latest episode after Raw, and he went in. So it was pretty good. WWE, can't wait. Next Monday, Raw, we'll watch it. We'll review on the podcast of next week. So stay tuned for that as well. That's going to wrap it up here on our show here today. Ladies and gentlemen, please be sure to check out our new album, Strange, Sexy, Cool. My group, Swanky Aura, and I have this new album out. And by the way, while you're at it, you can listen to Soft Guy Season 2. That's my solo album. A lot of people love the album. They gave me some great reviews and some great thoughts on it. So you guys don't want to miss out on that as well. That's going to wrap it up here. I've been your host, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas, saying so long, stay swanky, stay safe, because it's Friday night. Y'all know what y'all about to get into. Stay safe. We'll catch y'all in the next episode. Peace.
Go, what's going on in Hot Atlanta? Live from Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6 brings back the hottest hip-hop radio show live from K.L.P. Entertainment and K.L.P. Studios. It's K.L.P. Aftermath. Morning with your host, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas.
You know what it is? Put your hands up.
Tune in now on any audio platform.
Go.